You are Locked On Braves POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta, your team every day.
Another day and another win for the Atlanta Braves as they have secured a series victory up in Philadelphia with great pitching from Kyle Wright, timely hitting from the Atlanta offense, and a 4-1 win went in the books. As the Braves month of June, it just keeps on keeping on, getting better and better and better. I don't know. The Braves may not be ready to turn to the month of July, but perhaps this is just what they can come to expect from every month. We'll find out. It's a long season, but it was a great night for the Braves up in Philadelphia as they pick up that victory. We'll talk all about it here on the Braves POSTCAST, part of the all-new Locked On Sports Atlanta. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube page here and make sure that you click that bell to get those notifications whenever we drop a new episode, and subscribe to Locked On Braves wherever you get your podcast. Jake, another great night for the Braves, and I think it's safe to say with this one that it all starts with who was on the mound and who was setting the tone in this game. And on this night, it was Kyle Wright, and he was looking a lot more like the guy from the first couple of months of the season, not the guy who was giving up a bunch of hits last couple of times out.
Yeah, we talked about it. A couple of rough outings his last few times, double-digit hits in both of those games. Only 3 hits in this one. So certainly an outing that he was looking for, an outing the Braves needed because they, again, did score a ton of runs with the pitching, holding down that Phillies lineup. I know without Bryce Harper, but really been impressed with the pitching on this road trip so far.
Yeah, and it's hard to take much away from Kyle Wright, though. I know that as a lot of people have looked at, well, how did the Braves have such a great month of June? They beat up on a bunch of teams that weren't necessarily ones with winning records. Well, the Phillies have themselves a major league lineup. It's a pretty good one. Without Bryce Harper, it is different, but Kyle Wright looked good on this night. Let's jump inside the line score and the box score of this game, let you know how it shook out for the Braves in this 4-1 victory. Game number 76 of the year and the middle contest of this 3-game series at Citizens Bank Park. Braves pick up the win. They're 44-32 on the year now. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 4 men left aboard. Phillies are 39-37. A run on just 4 hits, no errors, 6 men left. Kyle Wright picks up the win. He's 9-4. That ties him for the most victories in the National League and just one off the Major League lead as well. Ranger Suarez pitched well, but takes the loss. He's 6-5. And Will Smith slammed the door for save number 3. Game lasted 2 hours and 47 minutes. A crowd of 25,621 were on hand to see it. The Braves got 4 runs, including a home run from Adam Duvall, his 9th of the season. We'll talk a little bit more about Kyle Wright in just a moment. Before we do, though, I want to let you know that, I've been collecting baseball cards for a long time, for most of my life, as a matter of fact. So I'm very excited to tell you about the Sports Card Investor app. Whether you're a casual card collector or looking for an exciting alternative investment opportunity, the free Sports Card Investor app has something for you. You can browse over 600,000 cards from every sport with hundreds more added each week. Check out the latest values of your favorite cards and find the best prices and buy directly through the app with the eBay Deals feature. So what you need to do is download the Sports Card Investor app today. It's available for free in the Google Play and Apple app stores. You can go to sportscardinvestor.com/locked-on for more info as well. Jake, a great investment by the Braves was using a number 1 pick on Kyle Wright. On this night, 7 innings of 1-run ball, 3 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, just 1 mistake to Rhys Hoskins. But what did you see from Kyle that had him just so much more dialed in and maybe just ahead of this Phillies lineup, unlike those last couple of outings?
Yeah, in the last couple of outings, missing a lot over the heart of the plate. And those balls, are obviously much easier to square up and get base hits off of. And he's given up a ton of base hits. This one, I thought he did a much better job getting ahead in the count, working on the edges, creating weak contact. Had an average exit velocity against him, just 87.5 miles per hour in this game. Didn't get a ton of swings and misses. Honestly, didn't get a lot of called strikes, but created a lot of weak contact on that sinker, on that curveball. So really encouraged by that. Again, just the efficiency. He went 7 innings and didn't have to crack 100 pitches to do it. So again, love the efficiency, love the command control that we saw from him in this one. Did have 3 walks. 2 of those came against Bryson Stott with 2 outs. So who knows if that's just him maybe kind of pitching around to the number 9 hitter. I don't know. Could be kind of an intentional thing there. I don't think he would have wanted to do that on first and second as he did early in the game. But overall, I just thought the command was good. The pitches had good break, obviously, and he created weak contact and a much needed, really good outing from Kyle Wright.
It really was. Seemed like he was able to just get things back to the success that he's been having for the lion's share of the season. And even though he gave up 10-plus hits in each of his last 2 starts, as you pointed out, it's not hard contact. It wasn't like he's going out there and giving up 2, 3, 4 home runs in these games. It just seemed to be some of them were beating the shift. Some of them were just finding holes. And, Kyle Wright, to his credit, does throw a lot of strikes. So on most nights, you're only going to find him issuing maybe a free pass or two. There was 3 in this start, but over 7 very efficient innings. And when you only give up 3 hits, a couple of free passes won't really hurt you. So Kyle Wright was able to work out of any trouble that the Phillies had in mind on this night and pick up the victory. Again, his 9th of the year, which is tied for the most in the National League. On the offensive side of things, how about Matt Olson? He just keeps on keeping on with the doubles. This guy has 31 doubles this season, Jake. That's a pace for 64 on the year. We saw the multi-home run game in the first contest of this Philadelphia series. It really feels like Matt Olson is finding his swing here late in June.
Yeah, he has 5 balls at 100 miles per hour or harder in the last 2 games alone. I really think he likes hitting in this ballpark, but
Yes.
he is certainly looking like he's going to get on another one of those hot streaks, kind of like we saw at the beginning of the year. He just seems locked in right now. I talked about it on yesterday's postcast. Seemed like he had just been missing lately, getting under some baseballs. Now you're seeing him start to square those up, and hopefully it is going to lead to a big hot streak here for Matt Olson and will be huge for the Braves lineup, obviously, especially you got some Acuna news. Hopefully he's coming back, but certainly be great to have Matt Olson being that run producer in the middle of the order.
Yeah, and Matt Olson was brought in here to be an impact bat in the middle of the order, and he has a lot of the season left to continue adding to what's been some pretty, I don't know if I want to say under the radar, because we talked a lot about Matt Olson's doubles, but it feels like the home run swing starting to come. And whenever you're on a pace for 90 plus extra bases in a season, I would say you're chipping in, you're doing your part in an impressive lineup, which is what I think the Braves do have. Adam Duvall, a home run, is 9th of the season, knocked in a couple of runs, and I like the hustle that Adam showed in beating out a double play and helping the Braves score an extra run. I mean, the Phillies were limited to just one, but as you're going through the game, every single one of those counts. So I thought Duvall came up big in a couple of spots. William Contreras, 2 for 4, knocked in a run, and Michael Harris with another base hit and another run knocked in. So it was really kind of the bottom half of the order, Jake, that was doing a lot of damage for the Braves on this night.
Yeah, about 6 through 9 hitters had 4 RBI in this game. Like you said, doing all the damage with the 4 runs scored, driving in all of them right there. But this was the night I thought the Braves offense would really get to Rangers Suarez, and I thought it'd be a night they'd score 6 or 7 runs. So it was so big that Kyle Wright, did what he did. And credit to Rangers Suarez. I mean, he was at 50 pitches through 3 innings and works into the 7th inning. The key against this Phillies team is get that starter out of as quickly as possible and get to that bullpen. And Suarez was able to hang around and keep the Phillies in this game as long as he could. But again, credit to Kyle Wright and credit to the Braves offense. Again, it wasn't a slugfest maybe that I thought they would have, but they continued to add throughout the game. You mentioned the big RBI there by Michael Harris late, the home run from Adam Duvall. Just tacking on those runs late, that was key in what ended up being a very close game.
It was. The Braves offense opportunistic on this night. The timely hits will work, and the good pitching, of course. That's a good recipe for a victory, and the Braves were able to cook up something nice at Citizens Bank Park on this night. Other good news on this day is that the Mets lost once again to the Houston Astros, so the Braves can thank their World Series foe for beating up on their National League East foe. And would you believe, Atlanta now 3 games back in the division. They entered the month of June 10.5 games out, Jake. I know we've talked about this an awful lot, but could you have imagined that the month the Braves were going to go on was going to include 21 victories, their most in a month in over 2 decades, and a share of a franchise record? This has been the kind of month that I don't know you could have expected or thought that the Braves were going to have in order to be a contender in the National League East. But boy, it's been a fun ride here.
Yeah, you knew they'd had to have a hot stretch like this at some point, similar to last year. You knew at some point, when are they going to get hot? When are they going to get hot? And, with the way the Mets were playing, you knew that needed to happen sooner rather than later this year. But to expect 21 wins in a month, I mean, that's more than I think anybody could have hoped for. It's just been an incredible month for the Atlanta Braves, and they picked up so much ground in the NL East, and they are right in this thing. I couldn't imagine them being 3 games back heading into July. It's just really been a fun ride, and hopefully one that continues.
Yeah, a fun ride. The Braves have got about, 86 more games left this season to chase down the Mets with a 3-game deficit. That sounds a heck of a lot more manageable than being 10.5 games back at any point in the season. That is how quickly the Braves have reversed their fortunes. We'll give you some injury updates, also get you set for Game 3 of this series. Before I do, though, I want to remind you to make your moment sparkle with jewelry from BlueNile.com. Locked On Sports listeners get $50 off a purchase of $500 or more, and this podcast exclusive does include engagement pieces. Use the code Locked On. That is code Locked On. Every order is insured, ships free, arrives in discreet packaging, and it won't give away what's inside. So you can shop stress-free and find your forever piece at BlueNile.com today. Some injury updates before we preview Game 3 of this series, as the Braves will be going for a sweep up in Philadelphia. Ronald Acuna Jr., good prognosis for him as he remained in Atlanta and did not travel with the club, but he's going to be rejoining the team on Thursday in Philadelphia. Still, jury's out as to whether or not he'll play or when he'll get back in the lineup, but good to see him rejoining the team, and that injured list stint will not be something that the Braves have to think about with Ronald, at least it would appear. And some good news on the rehab front as well. Eddie Rosario, 2 for 4, couple of doubles, couple of runs knocked in, and a walk for Gwinnett on this night. And you had Tyler Matzik in this one, 2 strikeouts in a perfect frame for him. Jake, these are reinforcements the Braves certainly need.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I don't want to continue to bash on Marcell Ozuna. I know I kind of did that yesterday, but look, they pretty much pitched around Riley to get to Ozuna tonight in a big situation. It'd be nice to have a left-handed bat there to spell him in some of these games. I know they were facing a lefty tonight, but it just shows you, teams aren't really scared of Ozuna at the moment. So it'd be good to have some bats back like Rosario and the bullpen. Look, Jesse Chavez got the 8th inning in a 3-run game tonight. And he's done great. I mean, he's deserved that opportunity with the way he's pitched, but it just kind of tells you where the Braves bullpen is at right now. They could certainly use a guy like Tyler Matzik back there for the back end of games.
Yeah, you'll take the reliability that Jesse Chavez has offered, but you wouldn't have thought on opening day, because he wasn't on the club, that he'd be pitching high leverage situations for you as you're trying to chase down the Mets and in these big games. But sometimes it's the unsung heroes and the guys you don't expect to come in and have some big moments, and Jesse has certainly done that. We'll see who's able to do it in Game 3 for the Braves on Thursday up at Citizens Bank Park. It's Ian Anderson on the mound, 6-4 with a 4.60 ERA. Aaron Nola. So the Braves are going to have their work cut out for him. 4-5, a 2.98 ERA, Jake. But the Braves have their eyes on a sweep in Philadelphia after already securing their first win up in Philly, series win, that is, in 3 years.
Yeah, playing with a little bit of house money here. Certainly, you already won the series. Be great to obviously get the sweep, but going up against a tough customer and Aaron Nola. But again, the pitching has been very good in this series. Hopefully, Ian Anderson can continue that trend and give the Braves a good start. And maybe this is the game where the offense breaks out against Aaron Nola and has a big game. Certainly would love to see that and love them get a sweep, kind of distance themselves from the Phillies in the NL East. To again, we talk about how great the Braves have been in June. The Phillies coming in this series were right there with them as well. So be great to kind of create some distance there and push them back in the division.
Yeah, and in the midst of this 10-game stretch against some tougher opponents, the Braves took the series from the Giants. They had a chance to take one from the Dodgers. They've now taken a series from the Phillies. We'll see if they can finish up the month and this series strong with the sweep up in Philadelphia. Ian Anderson against Aaron Nola, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time up at Citizens Bank Park for Game 3 as the Braves go for a sweep of the Phillies and look to close out June on a very, very high note with a franchise victory, or a franchise record, rather, in victories for a month as well. That'll wrap things up for us here on the Braves Postcast, part of the all-new Locked On Sports Atlanta. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, and make sure you are subscribed to Locked On Braves wherever you get your podcasts. He's Jake Mastroianni. I'm Grant McAuley. Once again, your final score on this night, it was the Braves with a 4-1 victory over the Phillies to secure that series win and continue a great month of June. We look forward to catching up with you after Game 3 of the series right here on the Locked On Braves Postcast, part of the all-new Locked On Sports Atlanta, and we will catch you soon. Until then, so long, everyone.